I'm Dr. Brandi.
I'm Dr. Joe. And we have a challenge for you because this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the way in which our upbringing from our parents or guardians or caretakers, how it impacted us, right? And so our challenge for you is to go and have a conversation with your parent or guardian or caretaker, whoever raised you, right? And just ask them what it was like to be a parent raising you.
And because we know everybody's upbringing and parenting experience was different, if you don't have a mother, a father, an aunt, an uncle, just consider anyone that had a parental influence over you. It could be a coach, it could have been a teacher. And if you can't even do that, write about what the lack of parenting has taught you. Everybody has a task here. Embrace the challenge. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Dr. Brandi.
I'm Dr. Joe.
And you're in for a
hell of a ride.
Everything, life, love, and legacy. So, people have come to know me as an iconic licensed psychologist, but I'm a global consultant, speaker, trainer, leader in the mental health game.
All right, that's cool. Well, a lot of people know me as an international speaker and peak performance coach, and I've written a few books as well.
Mm-hmm. And you happen to be my husband.
Yes, indeed. 12 years.
And my baby daddy.
And your baby daddy.
We have 2 kids.
2 of them. Beautiful.
We're also entrepreneurs and doctors.
Yeah. And you watching us, we're going to talk about a little bit of everything from identity and purpose to career and money to relationships.
Health and wellness.
Health and wellness. Can't forget that. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So buckle up.
Buckle up. Why?
Let's ride.
Let's ride. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I love it. Whoo, weather report.
Let's do it. Okay.
How you feeling, baby? What kind of energy? What's the forecast on this day?
To be honest, every day that I wake up, I could just say that it's sunny, right? Mm-hmm. But I also feel a few clouds in the sky.
I'm sensing a bit of a theme here.
Yeah.
You're partly cloudy kind of.
Partly cloudy. Partly cloudy.
But the sun is never off in the distance.
No. Because I think that's one thing that I want to honor is that every day I wake up is a blessing because somebody didn't wake up this morning.
That is true. Like that on some level, no matter what, you hold some form of joy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. I respect that. I feel that way too. I think my forecast. Okay, so my weather report for today. The week has been interesting for me.
I bet.
I actually think it's kind of foggy.
Ooh, what does that mean?
It's just I can't really see too far ahead of myself. Okay. I don't even want to say it that way. That's not true either. But it's I just feel like there's a little bit of haze around me.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of finding my way, You know
what? I like that. So let me say this.
You can't take my weather report.
No. Cloudy, but I like the fogginess because when it's foggy, you know where you're going, you know how to get there.
But you just can't see.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to describe. It's that. Yeah. So you take it kind of slow, Yeah.
Well, it's like that sometimes.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that most of us experience it as a bad thing because we have a real discomfort with the unknown.
For sure.
If you can't see right in front of you, people tend to get kind of anxious or nervous about that. But when you got faith, don't do that.
Mama say.
Mom, don't do that. That is a microaggression.
No, I was speaking in tongues.
No, you were not. Don't do that, baby.
I'm sorry. My mama gonna get me. My mama gonna get me.
Get him, y'all.
God is real. My prayer life is real, y'all. God got a sense of humor.
Well, He made you, so
there you go.
So we accept you as you are here.
Honda.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
What kind of car you want? I just want a Honda.
Oh my God.
All right, I quit.
I can see that this is going to be a problem.
I quit. All right. For real though.
I didn't say it. I am not an accomplice, okay?
All right.
No.
So we got to check in. All right. So we got the weather report, but What's top of mind?
Oh my God, babe. This has been the struggle for me today. I even have a notebook.
Hey, you good for writing letters in a note.
Baby, I got to organize my thoughts. You know, this is every shrink's favorite thing is a journal or a tool.
Let me see. Let me read it.
No, you can't read it. Well, I'm just going to read it.
You about to tell me, how come I can't read it?
Well, because it's mine to share.
All right, you got it. You got it.
You know, if I wanted you to read it, I would give it to you. I want to share it. Right. So yeah, no, I was organizing. I'm like, what's top of mind to me? And I think that might be a part of the fogginess or the haze. It's like there's so many things like on my mind, on my spirit. And it's not all bad. Again, you got to develop tolerance for discomfort. But like, so these are the topics I have.
Wait. Let me turn towards you a little bit so we could.
So I can have your undivided attention.
Yeah, man. I feel like what they be saying, the hoochie daddy shorts. I feel like I got some hoochie daddy shorts on.
Nah, babe.
All right.
Little thigh.
I tried to grease the legs up, but I was playing ball this morning, so you can see my ankle brace. All right,
we're getting distracted.
All right, my bad. Go ahead.
I mean, your legs are distracting.
Thank you.
No, but like, what's top of mind? There are so many things. Okay, so one of them is like midlife. You know how people be like midlife crisis?
Yeah.
But I've been like using this language lately of like midlife awakening. Like, I don't know what it is about turning 40. And I hear people describe this, like turning 40 and turning 50 and like just having a different kind of approach or perspective on life and on themselves. And I feel like I'm kind of in that a little bit. I hope it's not midlife. But then I think to myself, maybe it kind of is because like 80 something, I don't know. But yeah, like a midlife awakening. Like, what is your girl doing here? And then the other thing is, I can't even read my writing. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we were talking about this, how our upbringing, because we've been talking a lot about what we inherited and how we're bringing that into our relationship.
Yeah.
So how that impacts my parenting style.
For sure.
You know, and what my kids are going to be in therapy for and that kind of thing. And then I wrote this down, excuse my language. Staying sane in a fucked up world.
How come you don't want to be cussing more than I? Anyways, but I get it.
What that is, you're saying there's an assumption there, an implicit assumption.
I don't curse.
Any bullshit. And then I wrote legacy. Like, what I know what I intend to leave behind, but like if my life was over tomorrow, what would I have literally left behind? Like, you know, most of us think about legacy as if it's something to acquire or something to do. It's embedded in the footprints of your everyday life. Oh, yeah. Like we already have a legacy.
For sure.
So what would people say about me now? You know, type of thing. And then the other thing that's been on my mind is holding space and sharing space. Like how to like be loving and compassionate companion, but not at the expense of myself, being a good parent, but not at the expense of myself, being a responsible professional, but doing what I want to do, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what's on my list.
So that's a lot. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, so you brought everything to the table.
And then I didn't put how to make some more money, how to, you know, all of that.
So you got more.
Yeah. Right. So there's a lot on my mind. What about you? What's top of mind?
What's top of mind for me is very simple. You know, when you're scrolling through social media, you see all kinds of things, whether it's funny, whether you're impacted with maybe somebody singing or a message, whatever it might be. But I think the one thing that's top of mind for me is, from what I see, the passing of DC Young Fly's wife, I believe, his baby mama wife. They have 3 children. His partner. Mm-hmm. That's what's top of mind because I think that, you know, a lot of people, they see like the smiles, they see the relationship goals, nice pictures, right, of us or of other people. And I don't think they know what goes on behind the scenes, right? And I'm bringing that up because when you see something like what happened to DC Young Fly's partner, it really makes some of the things that you're mad about or upset about small.
That's very true. Like, so just for reference, like, what did you read? What did you see? Well,
I just saw that she passed away. And because it was social media, I'm not going to say how it happened because I don't know if that's real, right? But that's terrible. Like, imagine the person that you love, the person that you have children with, the person that you're with every day and you're building something together, trying to create the legacy, right? Knowing that all relationships are in for a hell of a ride. But what'll happen if you wake up one day and they're no longer with you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of us are faced with that every day, like all the time. I mean, you hear it all the time. You hear people say all the time that as a result of someone's passing or their death, they have a new perspective on life or, that, or like, that kind of, or let things go. Like you hear these things all the time. It's easier said than done.
For sure.
But yeah, she had 3 kids, young, like
beautiful young lady. Look like she just, I don't know her, but it just, looking at some of the photos and stuff, people radiate energy, and it looked like she was just an energetic, cool, fun, and so, man, it's just a terrible situation. And I bring it, for me, I brought it home, right? It was kind of like, what would I do if something happened to you?
What would you do?
I really don't know. I really don't know. That's the honest truth. Like, I know I would have to get it together for our children, but my sanity would be off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there would be a lot of work to do because of the role in which you play in my life, and it'd just be altered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thank you, honey, because I hear gratitude embedded
for sure,
like an awareness and gratitude of what value I bring. So what's top of mind for you really is mortality and loss. And even hearing you, it's so interesting how like one thought like curates another thought, because now I got more to put on my damn list listening to you. Because now I'm actually thinking about like, so this year, confession, this past year has been really tender for me in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. But one of the ways it's felt really tender, and I shared this before, is because of my mother's passing.
Yeah.
It was, this year marked 30 years that she's been gone, that I've lived with her without her my whole life. But what felt most tender about it is that our oldest son is 10.
Yeah.
And I was 10 when I lost my mom. So I just kept thinking like,
I just lost her, but you found your mom.
Yeah. Well, my sister and then
right. But that could be very traumatic.
Yeah, it was traumatic. But what's more traumatic than witnessing it is living without her.
Yeah.
That was the most impactful part of it. And then now as a mother and watching my 10-year-old and seeing a lot of myself in him, it's like, that's not enough time. Yeah. Like I really didn't get to know my mother. I didn't get a chance to really get to know her. And then I'm like, and she didn't really get a chance to get to know me. Like that's not enough time.
Yeah.
So it really impacts the way in which I feel. I try to be as present as possible with the boys, so mortality is top of mind.
Grief comes along with that. And I think some of the things, can I open your book now?
I suppose.
Just that page. I don't got to see none of your other stuff.
Because I desire to have an open and honest and vulnerable relationship. You could see my 1-pager of a journal.
That's cap.
This ain't my real journal.
I know. I wouldn't be in your real journal, but
babe, I might read it to you because you need to know.
What, your real journal?
Yeah. You need to know how I feel. You need to know what I think.
I need to know how you write because I can't read this. You gonna have to read that to me.
Holding space, sharing space.
Yeah.
Like companionship.
Yeah.
Midlife awakening. How our upbringing impacts our parenting. Staying sane in a fucked up world.
Yeah.
I don't think it's only fucked up. It's a blessed life, but still. Legacy, what to leave behind.
Yeah. So let's get into some of that.
What get into today?
Well, we're going to get it. I mean, you brought it up, especially parenting.
Okay, let's do that.
Right? Like,
everybody trying to figure out what to do with these damn kids. Like, what do I do with these kids?
Listen, for the people who have children, for the people who take care of other folks' children, right? Yes. We want to honor the parents and the guardians, right? Because we know some young people, they're getting raised by their uncles, their aunts, their grandparents, their godmother, godfather, friends, whatever it might be, friends of the family. But parenting ain't no joke. And the way in which you grew up and we've grown up impacts how we parent. So the first thing that I think about.
Oh, hell.
No, this is real talk.
Oh, hell.
First thing that I think about is getting whoopings.
Oh God, that's such a it's such a topic.
No, I know. No,
spankings or no spankings.
Well, that's
whoopings or no.
No. But, and we don't even got to get deep into that. But I'm saying that to say, I remember all the most of the whoopings that I got, and it was my mama giving me. My mama didn't play. Well, I got whooped with brooms, high heel shoes, belts, hangers,
it's really not funny.
everything. Mama, it's okay, mama. Let me talk. Mama, it's cool because you raised a hell of a man. But
okay, but wait, babe, can I?
Okay,
can I interrupt?
Go ahead. I just don't want to forget where I'm going.
Really,
but go ahead.
You want to take a note?
Okay.
I really don't want to interrupt your stream of consciousness, but I do think this is a pivotal moment because, yes, we're lighthearted and we're fun, but I also have an ethical duty to discuss a matter of this nature, right? Man. No, but I think what's really valuable about our podcast, and I'm biased, is that we get to blend the worlds. Like, I'm not going to judge.
Right.
Like that it's a cultural tool of discipline. That does not mean everybody beats their kids. True. We don't need to shame the generation of parents that did the best they could and that used like physical punishment to get their kids in order. Like, I'm not going to overly shame that. I'm just not going to do that. That's the typical shrink thing to do. With that said, I'm also going to say every action bears a reaction. True. Every action has a consequence, point blank, and the period. And so there are a lot of kids out here that got whoopings, or adults out here that got whoopings, and they have a harmful relationship with what it means, like with discipline. Like, okay. That's the only way. That's not the only way to discipline your child.
True. So can I jump back?
Okay, sorry. I was going to go on a tangent.
Oh, trust. I know.
I sure was.
Trust. I know. But so let me get back into
okay, sorry.
No, it's cool. So what I was saying was, so I got a lot of whoopings, right? Mind you, when you get older and you reflect back and you kind of have a better understanding of what your parent or parents were going through, you understand it a little bit more. Yeah. Right. My mother, I believe, was stressed out. She was dealing with her own stuff, relationships that, she was just dealing with a lot. But so, like you said, she was doing the best that she could. But I remember when I said I will no longer whoop our children.
Tell us about that moment.
Yeah, I'll never forget.
I remember this.
I think it was Carter.
Yes.
I think it was Carter. So JoJo was our oldest. JoJo has a different temperament than Carter, right? Carter is me reincarnated.
Let me tell you.
Like Carter is fun. He's happy. He smiles. But don't let that like Carter will go just like his daddy if necessary. But Carter did something, right? It might have been JoJo and Carter, but Carter did something and I just got hot. I mean, I was about to just tear him up, and the fear that he had in his eyes. I just remember thinking, what am I doing?
Oh, I really respect that.
Yeah. Ever since that moment, have I tapped him a little bit after that? A few times, not like, but I never given him no whooping, and it's been hard to figure out how to navigate a different way of discipline outside of a whooping.
So this is what I most respect about this. Because this isn't even a conversation about whoopings and not doing whoopings. This isn't even about this. This is really a conversation about self-awareness and about emotional regulation. Yeah. Like the fact that you are able to like pause yourself and like notice yourself and move more from a position of love and like intention than being reactive. Yeah. And I personally think that in the moments, because I've whooped our kids before too, but we have come to a place where it's not effective. Yeah. Like it's not effective. If it were effective, maybe I would whoop my kids, but it's not effective. It doesn't work. And so why do it? And quite frankly, it also sent mixed messages. It wasn't really teaching them what we were trying to teach them. So we don't do the whoopings anymore. But I think like, I know in the moments where I would try to whoop them, it was always in response to myself. it was always because I was super frustrated.
Yeah.
And like, I can think of moments where, just as an example, Joey would spill something in the kitchen and I'd be like, okay, baby, well, you need to go get it and you need to clean it up. And then I could think of moments where he would drop something and I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, pick it up, I'd snap.
Yeah.
And it was always the differentiating thing was me. Like, they were just kids.
True.
Being clumsy, trying to figure things out, making mistakes. I was either overworked, sleepy, stressed out, mad at you, mad at somebody at work.
No, you weren't mad at me. You was mad at yourself.
Okay. And so I think that's the thing is like people forget that parents are humans and we are stressed sometimes and we're frustrated and we forget that. And then we take it out on our kids. It's like, no, boo, you just mad at your baby daddy and you taking out on your kid.
Very, very true. But some people don't have that level of insight or self-awareness to know that that's what's going on. Because I know for a fact that when we've had our issues, my level of my capacity to like be okay with things happening with the kids and not get upset.
It's lower.
Woo! I would have to. A couple times I've been like, woo, like really having to take a breath. Mm-hmm. But like I remember the times where I've been snappy, right? And I've had to literally. I went off a couple times. But I'll never forget when I started to really come into understanding what was going on, I would have to pull my kids to the side and say, listen, Daddy is sorry. Yeah. I really apologize for that. And we would talk it through. And after we talked it through, they would be like, all right, cool. All right. We would hug it out, handshake it out. And then that was it. But I had to make sure to acknowledge that I was wrong.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that's one of the greatest gifts we can give our children.
Yeah.
Is that because not only does it nurture connection and intimacy and safety, it also nurtures their capacity to give grace.
Very much
so that when mom and dad or auntie do pop off, they're able to be like, no, they're not the worst person in the world. They're stressed. The other thing it nurtures in them is like this social representation of how adults manage their emotions and their relationships. Yeah. So then when they become an adult, they're not so self-righteous that they don't ever think they're wrong. They know that it's okay to go back and be like, I apologize. You're a fabulous father, honey.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's not get all comfortable about it.
No, I appreciate that. I think you're an amazing mother.
Thank you, babe.
Fuck. No, I'm just playing. Mother.
You know.
No, I think you are. I think you are an amazing mother.
Thank you, baby.
I think I'm blessed and I'm honored that I don't have other children by other women. You know
okay.
I'm just saying. But I'm saying I'm coming back
You're
to
blessed that you don't have no baby mamas.
Yeah, I ain't got no baby. But I always said that. I said if you have my, I always said whoever had my first baby, they having the rest of them.
Oh hell.
Right, and there's nothing.
So
wrong.
There's no way out.
Hey, listen. Well, we ain't having no more kids. No. That's number one. But and this is for anybody that has like multiple baby daddies, baby mamas. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you desire, right?
Yeah, but let's be real about it. No, there's nothing wrong with it. This isn't a conversation of judgment. But let's be real about it. If you're a parent, it's difficult navigating all these different personalities.
For
Your
sure.
kids, the baby's parent, that's a lot to juggle.
For sure. So I want to make sure that they know it's even more important for them to have that awareness of where they are when they're dealing with their children, if they have multiple, because like you said, they're dealing with multiple different types of personalities, right? And that thing could drive you crazy. I've watched it drive people crazy.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. And at the same time, I've seen people do it with a lot of love and being able to handle it. But I think it takes certain type of individuals to be able to navigate other baby fathers, especially as men, because we have egos.
Do you really feel like a certain type, though? Like, I don't know if I feel like there's like a special subset of people in the world that can,
Well, let me tell you what I mean by special. Special type means the type that's gained the awareness and understanding of themselves.
I see.
That's the special type. Not like you can do it, you can't. But once you have the understanding of self and you're doing the work on the self, That's the certain type that I'm talking about.
Yeah. And then you do got a point about like temperament too.
For sure.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so clearly we have entered the realm of like parenting and all that kind of stuff. And the first thing you thought of was them spankings and whoopings.
I didn't say nothing about spankings.
Whoopings. There's a
whoopings,
difference,
right? Culturally, I've never heard black folks say spankings. Okay. I'm just letting you know. It was whooping or a beating.
Yeah.
Or I'm a beat yo. Right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And by the way, you have about 7 curse words already. I have like 0.5.
We should have like a curse-o-meter, like right here, and I will beat you every time.
Go ahead.
It's the only way to fully articulate my thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
You could beat me there. I'll beat you elsewhere. You set that one up, though. I'm just saying, you set that one up.
Look, okay, so I do have a question for you. What is your favorite thing about being a parent? What has been the most valuable aspects of that role?
That is a great question, and I do want to come to your parenting situation, but I'm going to answer that question. Okay. I think the best thing, to be honest, is to see someone that you created evolve.
I know, right?
Because it's like, wait, how did you, like, I believe our sons are so smart. And it's just interesting to be like, I didn't even know they knew that. I didn't know they knew how to do that. Like to watch JoJo get up, make breakfast, right, himself, all that stuff. To watch Carter say things. And I'm like, how do you even know that? He's so witty, right? Like he's so witty he got a smart mouth. So I got to, we working on that. But that's the best, to see them evolve. And, remember when we had the parent-teacher conference?
Oh, yeah.
And they talked about our youngest son. It wasn't, we know he's smart academically, all that other stuff. But what was most important is how he treated the student who didn't know English. He made sure to take care of that student and protected that student. That was most important. And I was like, wow, that's what I love. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I think my favorite thing is definitely watching them develop and mature. And I think the thing I most appreciate is how they help me mature.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Like, I don't like it, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like, and I don't think this is always really fair as parents to do this to our kids, but let's just be real about it. I think sometimes they're what helped me mature my integrity. They're what helped me mature my character. They're kind of what helped me make wiser choices sometimes.
Wait. You just said I did that. You was talking to me and said that I'm the one who helped you do that.
I think you do too, in a different kind of way. I mean, I think, like, think about it. Your marriage or, life partner, companionship and parenting are like the most intimate.
Yeah.
Some of the most intimate relationships. And Bell Hooks in her book, All About Love, which I would highly recommend.
Love is...
What?
Remember, love is not what a lot of people think, because there's really no one fundamental definition of love. Remember she talked about love and cathexis in that book?
Yeah, love. Okay. So cathexis is a feeling of... It's like, it's what we equate love to, but it's not really love. It's really like affection or like and like love is really a verb. It's an active thing.
Yeah.
It's an active thing. And I feel like intimate relationships like marriage and parenting are what teach you on a cyclical, continual basis how to do it. Like, it grows you up.
Phew. That ain't.
It's literally the hardest thing I've ever done. It's harder than getting a PhD. It's harder than being a therapist. It's harder than being a business owner.
Ain't no cap. It's that's all truth. All truth. I agree with that. For sure. The hardest thing I've ever done, parenting and our relationship, being married. Like the hardest thing. So much work. Because one, I believe that so many people didn't come from like the positive relationships, right, growing up. And so you don't actually know what it's supposed to look like. And they may not have come from homes where there was great parenting, whatever that might mean, right? And so you're learning on the go. You know what I'm saying? In both of those areas.
Aren't we all? I mean, that's probably why our parents didn't know what the hell they was doing.
Hey, listen, they did the best they can, so that's all we could ask.
Yeah.
But listen, we got to get to yours.
Okay.
All right. So before we, so when it comes to parenting, how do you think, the way in which you grew up, how did that impact your parenting?
Exponentially. I feel like
Exponent? What? Wait. Spell
a
that. Spell
lot,
that.
baby.
Spell that.
No, I don't know if I can actually right now. Hold on, I don't know if I can. Like a lot. How did it impact? How did the way my upbringing impacted my parenting? One of the things that I'll give a tangible example. I feel like one of the ways in which you compliment me and one of the ways in which I compliment you is connected to this question. I talked a little bit about how I was raised, and with my kids, it is second nature. It's so easy for me to just do things for them.
Right.
Because that is the image I have of what a good parent does. Okay. Gammy did everything for us.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it's like, and I adore her. So it's like, I'm like her. So that's what I do.
And Gammy is your grandma who raised you.
Gammy is my grandmother who raised me. So it's like, so I do everything for them. But the consequential nature of that is it inhibits them from being more independent, for them being self-sufficient.
Hence.
So I'm harming them in an indirect way, even though my intention is to care for them. So the way that shows up now is this really natural for me to, if I see they've left clothes out, it's natural for me to just clean them up. It's natural for me they need lunch tomorrow, make the lunch. It's natural for me to do that. And you.
Wait. My hints. I want to make sure people understand what you're saying, because I remember when we first started dating and you said, well, I didn't learn to do laundry until college. I was like,
we talked about this already.
But I just want to make sure because it's to your point. Like Gammy doing all that for you. So
it inhibited me later.
Right.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah. And so I think, and then the other thing is we was talking about this too, the family secrets.
Oh, yeah.
Like family secrets, not talking about things because you want to protect your kids. Yeah. No, you have to develop developmentally appropriate language to help craft emotional and intellectual insight in your kids. So when you don't talk about sadness in your home and you don't show it, people say it all the time. I never saw my daddy cry. Yeah. And that might be a part of why you holding your emotions in. So like
my kids make fun of me.
They probably did. But then you got to normalize it for them.
Yeah.
And so you know what you did for them? You normalized the range of emotion for them.
Very true.
And you didn't gender it. You said men are allowed to feel pain and sadness just like women. And so now when they're sad or they cry, they don't have shame.
Right. Because I always would say it's okay to cry, but be mindful if you start to cry about everything. Right? Just be mindful.
Like there's limits to this thing.
No. Just be mindful, because sometimes if you're crying over like, oh, he took my video game joystick, like, bro, like really? I understand it, but like, just be mindful. Like, it's okay to cry, but once you start crying about everything, then people like,
you cry, baby.
Like, you cry, baby. Like, what? No. But real talk. Like, I love what you're saying in terms of how you grew up. So keep going. I don't even cut you off.
All I was gonna say, and I'll wrap this up, is like I also grew up where that kind of thing was hidden.
Yeah.
And so it's actually in my adult life, it's actually, believe it or not, I'm a very sensitive person, but it's actually really difficult for me to sometimes even identify, even as a therapist, identify and express the nuances of my feelings. Like it requires a lot of, because first I intellectualize it, I think about it. Then I have to really connect to myself. And it's a part of why I grew up, how I grew up. So with the kids, I try to do a better job of like naming things. We talk to them about everything. We just find ways of talking about it that feel age appropriate.
Right. Even like we were talking about death. Right? Like,
oh yeah.
Like we talk about it. We don't want something to happen and they're like, hey, what happened to such and such in our family? Right? So it's kind of like, no, this is what's going on. Right? And then we'll have a conversation with them. So
you know what, babe? And this sounds crazy to say, we have been going through an interesting health journey with my grandmother.
Yeah.
And it's been really scary and really sad at times. And one of my favorite things, it sounds wild to say, but one of my favorite things about going through this has been the conversations and the level of conscientiousness in our family with our kids. The conversations we've had about, Gammy, her days are numbered. She may not live. She's not going to live forever.
Right.
This is what's happening, like those conversations, them having to make decisions about like, do I want to go see her in the hospital? Do I not want to go see her? Those have been some of the most valuable things. You can't learn that in a class, in a book, for real, like in a real way.
Yeah. And now we get to watch them like go up to her, kiss on the forehead.
They're not afraid of her.
Perform for her.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I love that. And kind of just to, just kind of thinking about what you were saying, how I make sure to push them to learn how to do things on their own versus like mommy and daddy will do it for you. You see now they're making their lunches, right?
Yeah.
Now they're getting their clothes together. JoJo even knows how to wash, right? He's 10. He's 10. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I have succeeded in life.
He's 10.
Yeah, he made his egg. He woke up and he made gammy eggs the other day.
Yep.
I wasn't doing stuff like that at 10. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's how it impacted me. And then I know on the flip side, while you coming for me, I feel like you grew up in like overly independent in a way. Like, so sometimes with the kids, you'll be like talking to them like they should just know how to do things. And I'm like,
I do.
Babe, you got to teach them.
Yeah. I'm working on that.
But I'm just emphasizing the complementarity.
True.
I just want to know your takeaways because, all right,
let's close this thing. All right,
I just want to know.
Listen, my takeaway in reality is just that, and I'm really just taking this from Gammy. What Gammy has been saying, the past is the past. The future is not promised, so live in the present.
Yeah,
that's my takeaway. And work on being a better parent every day, and husband every day.
I received that. I think my takeaway is that I'm a boss as a mother. Like, I'm amazing.
2 points for cockiness for you. Right on. But I agree.
And I mean, I'm saying that funny, but I think like I know that it is one of my most vulnerable roles. Like, I feel probably the most insecure, I think, around being a mother, actually. And around like, am I doing the right thing? Yeah. Did I say the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And I know that my grandma, and this is no shade to her, and I know a lot of women, because it's such a tender role and it's so scary and it's so hard, sometimes we avoid it. We avoid things. Like, I never had conversations about sex. I never had, because I think my grandma was kind of like, oh, I don't know,
And everybody was having sex.
Nobody sat me down and talked to me about a menstrual cycle and puberty. Nobody did that. Nobody ever said, this is when I think, do you like anybody? Do you have a crush? It was kind of like you're not allowed to have a crush. Like, everything was just so scary. And I think the reason I'm saying I'm a boss is it is scary. I'm terrified 90% of the time. And so it's making me think, wow, you're doing a good job. Terrified. You're doing okay. So it's not cocky. It's self-affirmation.
All right. Listen, I respect that. And I agree.
Thank you, baby.
And I love that. That's a bar. Like, I'm terrified, but in a sense, you do it anyway. Keep going.
Yeah.
So I love that. So listen, great conversation.
Thanks, baby.
Listen, I want to make sure everybody knows that this podcast, right? This podcast is brought to you by the Diane Morgan Group and the Joe Johnson Group. Y'all make sure to go check us out. Make sure y'all keep following us. Follow us everywhere on social media. Hell of a Ride Podcast. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us everywhere. But listen, today we've taken you for a ride. And guess what? Thank you for watching this podcast called Hell of a Ride. Take care.